In this video, we are going to discuss Introduction to Database Management System, that is DBMS, and then we will see the purpose of DBMS. So, DBMS is made of three words, that is Database, Management and System. So, first we discuss what the database is. Database is a place where related piece of information is stored at one place and various operations performed on it. So consider there is large amount of data and we are storing that data at one place. After storing that data, we perform certain operations on it. So let us understand this by an example. Consider an office with number of employees and we are storing the information of all these employees at one place, that is database, and perform certain operations on it such as accessing the data, creating the data, manipulating, updating the data and so on. So database is nothing but a large amount of data, or we can say the collection of data that we stored at one place. So that is database. Next is management. So whatever the information that we have stored in the database, definitely we also have to manage those data. So management system is a software. Whatever the information which is stored in the database, we can manage those data. So it becomes easier to manipulate and produce information to user. So with the help of this, we can retrieve, manipulate the information and produce it for user. So that's called management. Next is system. The data which we are managing, storing or retrieving. So for retrieving, there is a system, means software. So with the help of software, we store information in database. There are many software of DBMS are available. Some examples for popular DBMS are MySQL, Oracle, Sybase, etc. So with the help of this software, we store the information in database. So if we combine these three terms, that is database, management and system, a new definition is created of DBMS is a collection of programs and interrelated data. This set of programs are used to access data from the database. So the primary goal of DBMS system is to provide an environment that is both convenient and efficient to use in retrieving and storing the database information. So this is some introductory part of the DBMS system. So next we see the purpose of the DBMS. Actually, in earlier days, database applications stored in file system. So previously data is stored in files. So we already know that data is stored in files. So instead of using files, why we are going for the DBMS system? Because this file system is having some drawbacks. So if you will know the drawbacks of file system, then you will need the purpose of the database system. So first is data redundancy. Here redundancy means duplication. So in traditional file keeping system, same piece of information is duplicated in several files, which leads to higher storage space, but which is not case with the database system. Next is inconsistency. Since the files and the application programs are created by different programmers, so various files are likely to have different file format. So it becomes difficult to access data from these files. Next is difficulty in accessing data. As I told you that in traditional file keeping system, data redundancy and inconsistency arises because of different file formats and huge set of data. So accessing data from such bulky environment is always difficult. But whereas in DBMS system, single SQL command is sufficient to retrieve the data. Next is concurrent users access problem. Traditional file keeping system does not allow multiple users to access and update data simultaneously. This is not case with the database system because it works in client-server environment. Next is data isolation. In this, multiple files and formats can be isolated. Next is security. Every user of the database system should not be able to access all the data with DBMS system. Unauthorized access to a particular data can be restricted. Next is flexibility. So, DBMS systems are more flexible, which allows to make changes in the structure without much difficulty than that of traditional file keeping system. Next is backup. DBMS system must provide the facility for backup and recovery to restore the data in case of failure. So these are some drawbacks of file system. So database system offers solution to all these problems. Thank you.